Well, I see Sheezy in the chat room. Good evening, good morning, everyone. You know what time it is, Thirsty Thursday. I've got my glass ready, just in time for another hometown hammer. So before I get started tonight, everyone remember to like and subscribe. Every like is a West Ham win, and you know we need those right now. Tomorrow night is Friday Night Lights, so want to make sure we hop on and see John and give Wally a visit. Hey, Neil. Good to see you. I have exciting news for everyone tonight. I gave a little bit of a tidbit out on social media that this particular person comes from a city where they're known for crab cakes and football. The other thing is, where these hammers go to watch the game is one of my favorite places. They have peanut butter burgers. Fo, did you hear that? A peanut butter burger and adult milkshakes. What more could we want, guys? So without further ado, I am going to introduce my next hometown hammer, Steven. Hey, Steven, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Good. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm glad you could come out and see everybody and chat with us this evening.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, while we get started, what I want you to do is first introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about where you're from and what you're drinking.
All right. So like you said, my name is Steven Ross. I am from Harford County, Maryland. So just about 20 minutes north of Baltimore. I'm kind of the far away Baltimore hammer that it has to drive 20 some odd minutes to get down to the games in a normal year. And teach high school social studies. I was gonna say history, but it's kind of all over the place. And I am a classy broad drinking a Stella Artois out of glass.
Nice. You know, the first time I had Stella was in Dewey Beach, Delaware. I don't know why, but I remember them pouring it into one of those glasses because I just had to have a beer out of one of those glasses. And to me, it was the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted, but
it's not very good. It was left in my fridge and I have the glass, so I was like, why not?
You know, I'm disappointed. I really thought you would have had a Natty Bow.
So I did. I had Natty Bows until Sunday's Ravens game, and now there are no more Natty Bows.
What about Full Tilt? Have you tried Full Tilt?
Have I? Yes.
Okay, good.
Many of them. I leave it up to my friend Jason at Friendship Liquors. Here's a plug for you. I walk in and I was like, Jason, what do I want? And he just points, this is what you need. It's from whatever brewery outside of Baltimore. He switches it up on me all the time. Just try it. You'll like it. All right. Don't even ask questions. As you walk in, he just points, you want this. Cool.
Yeah, I have mutual friends who they are good friends with the brewers, so they get them pretty often. I'll have to connect you with them.
Please.
Yeah, and our teachers need all the tilt because, you know, right now I don't know how you're surviving. So are you virtual now?
100%. We started, the whole summer they told us we're going to go back in January. All right. And that was the plan. And then 2 weeks before school started, they said, just kidding. You're going to show up day one. Everybody started freaking out. And I was like, whatever. I mean, they'll change their mind again. And we spent, I don't know, a month maybe in school with nobody. I sat in a room by myself. And then they said, all right, y'all are going home. And we haven't been back since.
Well, it's good. You get to be home to watch the games.
That is really convenient. I have noticed that. The day ends at 2:20. The games start at 3. It's perfect.
That is perfect. I sometimes have conference calls, so I'm trying to like listen to it and watch the game at the same time. It's tough, but that's awesome. So tell us why West Ham?
How much time do we have? Real convoluted story. Try to keep it relatively short. So I worked at a summer camp, I guess my junior year of college. So I just turned 21 and one of the things that all the counselors did after school was to go, or after camp ended, was to go to somebody's house and play FIFA. And that's what we did. FIFA Fridays. We would bring a case of beer. There'd be a champion crowned at the end of the night. And we always played with countries instead of clubs. So that was fun. And then summer ended and go back to college. And I bought the newest version of FIFA. I'm like trying to figure out a team to play with. And I happened into our school's library, and I didn't spend much time there, not going to lie, at least not for research purposes. They had an extensive movie collection that you could rent DVDs from, and I'm just picking random ones, and I saw something that had Elijah Wood on the front. I'm like, I know him. I'll get it. You probably know where I'm going with this. It was Green Street.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And so I watched that, and I was just like, that's really cool. If I were going to follow a soccer team that's not from the United States, this is who it's going to be. And so I had the newest version of FIFA. I loaded up a new season with West Ham, and it just went on from there. And everybody's like, why do you like them? And it wasn't honestly until I started hanging out with the group down in Baltimore that they were like, West Ham has Baltimore ties, right? I had no idea. And they're like, why did you start following them? I was like, honestly, because of a movie and a video game. And so now I have a little bit of hometown Baltimore historical ties. So it's not just like, I watched a movie and I started following them.
So I'm not aware of the historical ties to West Ham. So tell me about that.
So you'll have to probably forgive me. I don't know the 100% story, but from what I was told by Chaz and the others, there's a nice little newspaper clipping down at the Abbey Burger Fells that there was a league based off, or in the United States, and specifically we had a team down in Baltimore based off of English Premier League teams, and it just so aligned that Baltimore was aligned with West Ham. I don't know that they actually played here per se, but that's what they told me. And they showed me the newspaper clipping, and then the game came on, and we stopped paying attention to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that because I didn't know that, and I'm very familiar with the Blast. So, and for those of you in the chat, the Blast is Baltimore's soccer team. So
indoor though. They're the indoor team. They are dominant as far as indoor soccer goes.
Yeah, they're great. They're fun to watch.
They win a lot. That's always fun.
Yeah, exactly. we don't know what that's like. So,
no.
But that's how a lot of us here in the U.S. started liking West Ham, is through Green Street Hooligans, which everybody across the pond, they don't like that.
They don't. But they do like Football Factory, which I also have and I've watched, and it does mention West Ham, but they're not the main team in it, which is why everybody loves Green Street Hooligans, because it's all about the West Ham firm, whereas Football Factory dabbles in it for a minute or two.
So Robbie, you need to watch it because it makes West Ham fans look like the badasses we are.
It does. That's why I was like, I want to follow them, because it reminded me honestly of a Ravens-Steelers home game, right? You can go down to Baltimore during Ravens-Steelers Sundays, and it doesn't matter who it is, as long as they have purple on, they got your back. It's cool. You can say whatever you want to the people on the other side, and everybody in purple or black has your back. And it's just like, there's a similarity there.
I completely agree with you. Living in Baltimore, it is a football town, and that's how people are. They live, they eat, they breathe it. Purple Fridays. It reminds me so much of being back here in Philadelphia. We are, also a very long history of football here. So,
throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. What's that about?
Exactly. It was batteries. But yeah, so I mean, totally can relate exactly why I, felt like West Ham was home. And so now I'm stuck with these suckers in the chat room who are, poking fun at me. I see you, Fo and Tebow. So you guys in Baltimore, you watch the games at the Abbey Burger Bistro.
Yes, in Fells Point.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of my favorite places. Actually, it's Federal Hill, right?
So there's a couple locations, and I don't know which team is aligned with the one in Fed Hill, but it's not West Ham. The one that we go to is in Fells Point. It's right off of, oh goodness, I don't even know, because I have to park so far away because you can't actually park outside of it.
So that's probably why I didn't run into you guys, because I lived in Fells.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that's very interesting. So I'm definitely looking forward to coming back. So have you ever been to London to see a game?
No, and that is on my bucket list for sure. Done quite a bit of traveling around the world. Haven't made it. Well, that's not true. I've been to London Heathrow a few times, but only as an interchange. So haven't made it outside.
Change that.
I know.
So West Ham, if you're listening, you can send us tickets and we will gladly come over. Also, anyone still taking it.
I have a couch that I can crash on from a buddy that I met in Santorini. He called me West Ham Steve. He's a Crystal Palace fan, so we kind of give each other crap when they play each other. And yeah, absolutely have a place to stay. So when they want to send me something.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Looks like
Neil is actually from Australia. Yeah, and so he knows all about the Baltimore Bays. So there you go.
Thank you. I paraphrase the story. Terrible representation, terrible show from a history teacher, but it's not in my curriculum.
That's funny. Well, thank you, Neil. I appreciate that. So if you could pick a favorite player, it could be someone now or in the past, who would you choose?
Easy. So unfortunately, I'm not wearing his jersey at the moment. I did not go up and change. Got to be Declan Rice, simply because he's West Ham. Like, he's going to take over for Noble, assuming we can keep him, money wise. And he's just a cool individual. And I think the fact that he's pretty young, he has a good little social media presence. And when my wife was pregnant, we were watching a West Ham game, and he ends up, scoring the winning goal. And I sent something to him on Instagram, and I was just like, hey, if you keep this up, maybe my wife will let me name our child after you. And he responded like instantly. And he was like, do it, mate. And I was like, done. That's it. If we have a little boy, easy. Declan Ross. And we got the sonogram picture, and they were like, you're having a little girl. I'm like, not going to be Declan, but maybe next time.
Listen, she can always change her name.
No.
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw, he was doing a golf outing with someone a couple weeks ago, and I love it when he does rice, baby.
I think at least in our, well, probably not their time zone anymore. I think it was his birthday through most of today. And I love the video that they posted of him on the boat from, I don't know, I guess it was 2 summers ago. He falls asleep on the boat and they scare him.
Yeah.
And he screams. Like, he's just personable. It's funny.
Very personable. And I love his dedication and commitment. I mean, he's so solid all around. I don't picked a better choice for someone on our current team. So yeah.
Plays every minute,
Yeah. And Danny does have a son. He has 2 twins, and one of his twins is called Declan Dean. So
well, if a number 2 comes around, and if number 2 happens to be a boy, there will be another Declan.
Well, what are you doing in quarantine?
Not that. Trying to raise the one I have.
So this is a question that's difficult for most of us here in the U.S. to answer. But if you know any, or do you have a favorite chant? And you get bonus points if you can sing it.
No, you're going to lose me on that one.
Yeah,
no.
okay. Most of us don't have one.
Yeah, wouldn't want to be faking something. If I go there and somebody wants to teach me in a pub while we've had quite a few drinks, I will for sure learn it and sing it.
We're working on it. I'm trying
Yes.
to get someone
Another
to
plug.
start
Send me
that,
around the world. I will be your ambassador. I have summers off.
all right. The Las Vegas team does a fundraiser every year. And so past August, we were all supposed to fly out to meet up with everyone. And from what I hear, it's quite the affair. And a lot of the folks did learn the chants at that event. Wally actually won a trip, I think, somewhere. So it was pretty cool. So I'm definitely looking forward to that and meeting everyone in person. So what team do you hate the most in the Prem?
So I work with two people really close at my school, and one of them is a Liverpool fan and the other one is a Man City fan. And we are all social studies teachers. And we all have our flags up in our room, and they walk by me and kind of do a little West Ham. So both of them, just out of personal spite. I love the two people I work with, but I just feel like every time we're playing Liverpool, we're playing Man City, it's a total mental impasse. And it's just like, no, we're just not going to play very well today.
It's the West Ham.
Let's start off the season with a 4-0 loss every year. Like, come on.
Yeah, we were looking pretty good at the beginning of this season.
We were.
Yeah.
Still are, but yeah.
It's heartbreaking when you have to go and face, your friends and family, who mine happen to be Tottenham. My father spent some time over there, and so he became a Tottenham fan. So my brother and I are West Ham fans, to despite him.
Just out of spite. Perfect.
Out of spite. So if you, and I don't know if you've ever played soccer, but if you were to play soccer or you were to take over a spot on the team, what position would you play and why?
So I grew up playing soccer, not a very tall individual. And I always got put at center CDM, center defensive midfield, right? And I wanted to score goals. And I'm like, I don't want to play this position. I want to play forward. I want to play wing. I want to go up and score goals. And they're like, yeah, but you're good at defense. So that's probably where a coach would put me. However, if I had the opportunity to put myself anywhere, it would definitely be like a left wing. When we do play pickup soccer, and that's been a while now, it's where I am going to put myself and try to sprint past people.
Fo says his dad is also a Liverpool supporter.
Well, it happens.
I know. What the heck? We definitely need a striker now. How are you feeling about Hilaire leaving and us bringing in someone new?
Well, he scored 7 minutes into the game tonight, last night, whatever. Time zones are killing me different wise, but he scored, which is kind of an insult because he just moped around the field all the time. And yeah, it doesn't make me feel too good about, getting rid of this guy at a loss. We're going to spend $45 million, which we didn't even finish paying off. Like, we were struggling to pay off his former team, and now we're going to sell him for
half.
25. Like, doesn't make any sense. And my
Charlie, whatever made you stop from saying it anyway?
Yeah. So my Baltimore group, they know that I am not a huge Antonio fan. Yeah. So we will joke around and, in person or whatever, I'll say something like, oh, Antonio, he goes to shoot the ball and he's a foot away and he misses the goal or whatever. And so when everything shut down last year and we were all watching, anticipating a relegation battle, in my group chat, I said something along the lines of, well, at least we know Antonio is not going to score. And he scored. And we end up winning the game. I was like, all right, we're playing poorly the next game. And I don't remember if it was Jordan or Chaz, but somebody was like, hey, I think somebody needs to throw out an insult about Antonio. So I did, and he scored instantly. So for the last 6 games, I would start off, well, at least we know Antonio's going to suck today, and he would score a goal. So I give the man a lot of crap, but he's done well. Hopefully he can just stay healthy.
So I was telling you about Mark before the beginning of the show.
Yes.
My co-starter of Philadelphia's chapter here. We both are not Antonio fans, so always giving me crap because at the end of last season, both Mark and I were on the show and we were like, yes, we will eat crow. We do need Antonio. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's just not there. And so for days with you on this. And so I really have changed my thoughts on Antonio. I have eaten my crow, and he is a West Ham player. He is a true West Ham player because of his heart. He just doesn't have the finishing skills, but he's doing a lot better. We're hurting without him right now for sure.
Yeah. I think, worst case scenario, we don't bring anybody in during this window at striker. All you have to do is just throw Thomas Suchek up there. He'll score. I feel like he's scored 1 million goals this season. He's only on 5. I don't know how that's possible, but it's just every game. It's like, oh, he scored the winner. There you go. Just throw him up there. He's huge. He'll handle it.
He is. And I don't know why Moyes doesn't take more chances on that. That's, a head scratcher for me. Especially when we're down so much. If it's 2-0, let's do something. We're, it's better than a loss. So
yeah.
All right. So do you have a favorite kit, and is it the home or away kit? Which one?
So for whatever reason, I continue to buy white kits, and I don't know why, because I don't want to wear them out anywhere. My daughter will come up to me as a 19-month-old and have sticky hands. I'm doing one of these, like, don't touch me. So I have a few of them. I don't wear them as often as I should. I think probably one of my favorite ones is the button-down blue polo that we wore 3 or 4 years ago. And I managed to get one without the Betway logo on the front, and so I can wear it to work as like a nice polo. So that one's probably my favorite. It gets the most usage because I can wear it to work often.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get away with that. So that's really cool. All right, tough one. Apple pie or meat pie?
I don't really do sweets, so I'm probably going to have to go with the meat pie.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you haven't been to London yet, you haven't.
Yeah, I haven't had a proper.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really good. So we got some down at a Borough Market right in downtown London, and it was mashed potatoes, cranberry, turkey, peas. I can't remember what else, but it was a gravy. Gravy was in it. It was amazing.
So I'm pretty sure Wawa does that right around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but it's not in a little pie crust.
No, it's not. But so here's the thing, and I probably should withhold judgment before I get to go visit. But I've done quite a bit of traveling around the world, and I love going to eat different places. And what's the old joke is the England takes over the world for spices and uses none of them. Just, I don't know, like the food's really not drawing me there.
I understand that.
It's fighting words, I know, but
I know
some of the places that I've gotten to eat, it's just, do I want some plain meal?
No, I get it. If it wasn't for West Ham, yeah, I would have had the drive to get there because of the food is also, one of my passions. And when I travel, I like to eat good food. So yeah, I understand that completely. Actually, we ended up eating really good Indian food in London. So yeah, it was great.
Take over the world. There you go.
Exactly. Who frustrates you the most on the current squad?
Any given day. So I guess this season's probably not a very good indicator, but was not a big Angelo Ogbonna fan. I feel like he messed up quite a bit in the last few years. I don't know why he kept getting chances. And then, look at this season. He's one of the front runners for Hammer of the Year. So who knows? I feel like if I hate somebody or dislike somebody, that they're going to have a stellar year. So maybe I should just dislike more people. Who needs a goal? Noble hasn't played very much in a while. Let's get him in there.
Yeah, well, Rebecca will love you for that. You don't know Bex. She was my co-host on another show. Yeah. She's a huge Noble fan, so she will love you for that. Neil, absolutely. As soon as we landed, we went straight to the pub and got tons of beer and a pie and mash. So that was the first thing we had to get done on the list.
I mean, I'm about it.
FA Cup or top 4 finish?
Which one's more realistic, or which one do I want?
Which one do you want?
I'd rather see top 4.
Yeah.
I think it means a little bit more, I guess, just since there's more games being played throughout the season. And if you can continually stay up there, then you're doing something right over and over and over again. Doesn't really have anything to do with a lucky draw or, did you play well at home or away kind of deal.
Tebow, I forget what you told me last show about these mushy peas, but I don't know that I'm digging it. So probably
it sounds
not.
like something that I would have fed my daughter. So nah, I'm not about it.
No, that's a definite no. One thing I did want to mention to you about FIFA, one of the gentlemen in our group, he has a FIFA channel. So I will give you the information on that. Tom.
Please do.
Yeah, he's been doing phenomenal with it. So I will get you that. So Tom Atherton, you better thank me. I got you one follower. So what about West Ham do you love the most?
So I know I just said I want to see a top 4 finish, but I love the fact that it's not a team that people look at and they're like, oh, you're a front runner. You're just picking them because they win a lot. And I feel like a lot of my friends that, live around the area, live in the States, that are following, Premier League teams, they're picking these very successful teams over and over and over again. And it's like, okay, yes, winning is awesome, but look how many people don't know anything about this team. You pick them because they win a lot of games and they spend a lot of money. So what do I love about them is that they're mediocre at best. You get your hope up. Every season is a West Ham season. They're going to do great this year. And then they do, and then they start to drop, and you're like doom and gloom all over again. And then they bring it back up just at the end to stay up. So that's probably it. The mediocrity is frustrating, but
this is Tom's information. So I'll send it. But for people that wanted to follow Tom, I don't know anything about FIFA, but he does an awesome show. Dalek is talking about, why am I cold? It's still winter. I'm not cold. I'm not hot. It's 50 degrees here in Philadelphia. It's a warm day. Have you heard of
that's not a bad day. Yeah.
It's great.
Sun came out.
Exactly. And I have my wine. You know how that is, Dalek? So this is what Tebow was talking last week, a floater. So he was talking about a pie and a floater. And I'm like, oh, a shot of 151? And he's
right.
Like, apparently is mushy peas. And I'm like, no, I don't want anything to do with that. I'd rather have a shot of 151 in my pie.
Rum floater.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you hate the most about West Ham?
The fact that they build you up just to let you down over and over again. You look at size of clubs in the Premier League and amount of money spent, and it's just, you have this gigantic club just pinching pennies right now. Like, no, we will not pay 12 million pounds for this player, and then somebody will sign them for 13. It's like, really? You couldn't cough up 1 more million? And like, for you and I, yeah, that's a lot of money, but for how much money they're bringing in off of ticket sales in a normal year, out of jersey or kit sales and TV time. It's just like, really? You're going to be that stingy about it? Kills me.
It's very frustrating, especially with the situation of just, bringing in Hilaire and, selling him for tremendously less. It's hurtful. You wonder why we can't build something up. We can't get better facilities. Well, it's because we're doing stuff like that. Terrible recruiting.
Yeah. And I think probably, so in addition to that, just keeping the young talent, they'll go out and spend a stupid amount of money on a washed up has-been that, was good 10 years ago. And then that person never plays. And then you let somebody go like Diangana, and now he's not really having a very good year right now with West Brom, but it's like, come on, this kid was giving you everything he had, and then you just let him go.
Yeah, I was disappointed we let go of Diangana for sure. So Rudy says that you need to get kebabs at Upton Park. I have not heard this. Rudy, this is the first I'm hearing of it. I'm going to need a fact check on that.
I mean, what's on it? Meat, veggies. What do we got? I'm in.
No spices. No spices.
Well, yeah. Mashed potato dolloped on it. I mean,
team you love to beat. Who's your favorite team? I mean, obviously we talked about Arsenal and who else did you say that they're your team?
So yeah, friends of mine follow Man City and Liverpool. Honestly,
but anyone other than those?
Yeah, I love to see a win against Crystal Palace. Just a friend that I met on vacation. We keep in touch on those days, and we'll just throw insults back and forth through a chat on Facebook or something. And it's good fun, and it's a game that could go either way. And if you look at the record over the last 3 or 4 meetings, it has. It's like whoever scores first loses. And it's incredible that this game between two teams that are so even is just back and forth every single time.
Yeah. I think I saw that we have never beaten Crystal Palace at home. I think that still holds true.
Yeah, because didn't we drew last time, right?
Yeah.
So it was close.
I don't think we have. It's frustrating because I feel like we should be able to pull one out from them, but
should be. As long as you don't score first, I guess.
Right? All right, another hard question. Pizza or tacos?
Pizza. That's coming from a pretty strong Italian side. Don't get me wrong, love some tacos, but pizza's got my heart for sure.
All right, Charlie boy, you're going to have to test it up. Charlie boy makes a mean New York pizza.
Yeah.
So
we have a local place. So like I said, I'm Hartford County. I'm about 20 miles north of Baltimore. So, and if you find yourself, driving the 95 corridor and you want to get a good pizza, whether a whole one or a slice of pizza, pull off on the exit for Bel Air, go into Bonatempo Brothers. You'll love it. It's excellent.
All right. I have not been there.
There's
so the only one I've been up that way is Serpico's. So I will
haven't been there.
Check it out. All right. If you had a time machine to go back to any point in time within the club, when would it be? Would it be a specific game?
So I don't remember the name of the documentary. It was on Amazon Prime, and it talks about the last game at the Bowling Ground. And I think that would be something special because by the time I get to go to a game, it's going to be at the new stadium, and you read all of the stuff on the different the websites and the Facebook groups about how it just doesn't have the same feel. Like, yeah, you can pour thousands of more people into it, but it doesn't have that like home field advantage feel like that belonged to the fans. So I think that would probably be a game that I'd want to go to.
Yeah, I think you'll be pretty surprised because my first game was at London Stadium and I
Mhm.
loved it, but hearing stories of how close they were to the players, they could talk to them and just be
Right.
on the field. I think that would have been incredible. And so, yeah, I agree with you on that. That's definitely my time machine event.
Yeah. I think it's probably similar to all the older folks around the area here that talk about Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. They talk about how great it was and that you can never replace it. And then, by the time I was born and started going to baseball games, it was all Camden Yards. So I don't know any different. It's a beautiful stadium. People love it now, but I guess how long is it going to take to, I don't want to say get over it because that's not the wording, but like accept that this is the new home and make those memories there and really build up that home field advantage there.
Bows and O's, hon.
Bows and O's. Yeah, Orioles, talk about another disappointing team. That's probably why I picked West Ham. It's like, oh, we got mediocre baseball here. Most years our football team's mediocre. Nah, let's just make it mediocre soccer as well. Fits right in.
Exactly, because we like to suffer.
You do. That's really what it is.
All right. So, if someone were to come to visit Baltimore, what would you say is the best thing for them to eat or something that you recommend? Obviously, you recommended the pizza, but is there anything else that you feel like Baltimore is known for that they should go or where they should go to eat this particular thing?
Sure. So I mean, I feel like you got to throw out seafood. Anytime I have somebody come in from out of town, um, if we're gonna go out somewhere, you got to order the seafood. Jimmy's Famous Seafood is a favorite. They're awesome. They kill it on Twitter too. If you don't follow them, you should because they're hysterical. Constantly going after groups like PETA and stuff. It's like crabs are not food. And then Jimmy's Famous would be like, yeah, until you steam them and put Old Bay on them, and then they're delicious. So that's definitely their food's amazing. But yeah, just the whole steamed crab experience. You don't have to go out. It can be literally the best thing is just somebody's backyard. You get a picnic table, sunny day, 6-pack of beer, put a bunch of crabs on the table, and just laugh at people that don't know how to do it.
Yeah, that was. I finally got the skill down, but it is not the same here. We don't have anything like it. So that is one thing I do miss, just shooting the breeze, picking crabs.
Yeah. And then you just, you sit there for an hour, 2 hours until your back hurts and you're like, oh, well, I guess it's time to go do something else. And, you're still kind of hungry because it's more of just a picking thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss that. I can't really pick crabs with a toddler. So
Yeah.
I'm going to have to introduce her this summer and pull her up to the table and be like, look, you need to learn how to pick because I'm not doing it for you. Once you're big enough to get to the table, you got to learn the skill.
I did it for my father and it was a disaster.
Yeah. So my wife is not from Maryland. She's from born in Florida and then lived in North Carolina most of her life. So when we do steamed crabs, it's something like a 4-to-1 ratio where I'm through 4 of them and she's still on number 1. So I just pick one completely and just dump the meat in front of her and then keep going about my own just so she can kind of keep up.
I feel for her. I'm that same one.
Yeah. Does a good job with it. It just takes a while.
Yeah, it does. It does. As long as the beer is flowing, you're good.
Absolutely. Can't be anything good though. Like you said, it's got to be just like a Natty Boh, something cheap. And for those of you that have never experienced Natty Boh, we adopt it as our own, even though it's not even brewed here anymore. Used to be, but not anymore. Very loved symbol to the point where, drunk 21-year-old kids get it tattooed on their body.
No. Where is it? We got to see it.
It's on the rib cage.
Okay. All right.
Did not feel very good. It was myself and 3 other friends. It was kind of like the last hurrah. We were all about to go our separate ways after senior year at college, and we're like, let's go get Natty Boh tattoos. And of course, we had drank quite a few of them, and they all were like, yeah, I'm gonna get it on my thigh. And I'm like, not getting a thigh tattoo. If I'm going to get it, I want to see it. And so I ended up getting it on my side. And of course, my mother was not too keen on that. Not her proudest moment.
All right. We gotta get a West Ham one in there too.
Soon enough.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Stephen, for coming on tonight. I really appreciate it. And as everyone knows, you can go down and watch a game in Baltimore at the Abbey Burger Bistro in Fells Point.
Yep.
You can contact me if you need any directions on how to get there, because that's my old stomping grounds.
Yeah, unfortunately, everything's shut down right now, so you can't actually watch the game there. But when it does, we'll be back, and it'll be bigger than ever.
Doing that world traveling, Stephen, once things get up. Oh, Kieran! So good to see you. My shows don't run 2 hours. I'm sorry. I'm only about a half an hour show girl. So take it. Take what you can. All right. Well, I am just wrapping up, Kieran, but say hi to Stephen. He's new to our network. He's hammer this week from Baltimore, Maryland. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming out tonight. It's good to see everyone's faces. Well, virtually your faces. I miss you all, and I will see you next week. We have another Hometown Hammer coming on. All right, I'll see you guys. And the last thing we leave you with, we have to tell everyone, come on, you irons.
There you go.
Come on, your irons. All right, guys. See you later. Have a good one.
Bye.